Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I have been a builder in the inner city of Houston for 24 years. And in that time, I have built 2 townhouse projects, and I've got one I'm trying to get off the ground now. So most of the builder people here today do not think I'm a townhouse builder. However, I am chair of what we call the Urban Task Force, which is an ad hoc committee of inner city builders. And in that capacity, I have met and dealt with most of you people over the last 6-7 years. The changes in Chapter 42 that take effect the day the mayor signs the ordinance will have real negative economic impact on the guys who build townhouses inside the loop. There are guys who have land under contract that will not be able to build on those lots. And they will have to cancel those contracts and whatever investment they have in them. This also will have a negative impact on the people who thought they were going to be able to sell their land to these builders. That we have accepted. The city has 10 years experience now with minimum lot size ordinances. I first got involved in 07, and that was on at least the second rewrite of these ordinances. They've been working forever, not forever, for a long time. I don't think the neighborhoods who have gotten their minimum lot size districts set up found it that difficult. If I'm not mistaken, only one in all that time has actually been turned down. We don't understand why the neighborhoods won't be ready when this ordinance gets passed to turn their applications in. Every city council member I've talked to has been out holding meetings with their neighborhoods. The neighborhood groups have been having talks with the neighborhoods. The moment this ordinance is signed, there should be a line outside Ms. Gatrick's office with people having their applications in place. We do not understand why there needs to be a second-year extension of the time frame. And even more personally, I don't understand why small builders like myself, if I did want to do a townhouse project outside the loop, I sure wouldn't be in a position to go buy an acre of land. But by setting this limit on the second phase of the second part of the phase-in, you're really giving advantages to big builders and disadvantaging the small local builder. Thank you very much.
Hold on, there's and minimum lot size and minimum building lot haven't been around forever because I was the original council sponsor, so I know when it started. Although it's been approved since we passed it originally. Councilmember Green.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Ms. Farrell, for coming out. Saw you at the Civic Club meeting the other night. Good to see you there. One of the things that we had, and you're absolutely right, we've been going around to the neighborhoods, talking to them about this, getting input. And so, while I understand, the challenge that the small builder has, when we talk to certain neighborhoods with regard to the time that they're going to need to amend or to come in, to turn in their application and get the requisite 60%, hopefully 55%, it's tough. A lot of the neighborhoods around the city, especially between 610 and Beltway 8, you have a lot of renter communities, okay? And so a lot of the owners don't even live in the areas. So getting the right information and get the ballots to them and processing that and going through that whole application, it really is a challenge. A lot of those folks don't own those homes. And I was just talking with Westbury, they have been trying to amend their deed restrictions for over a year now, and it's tough. And so if you want to know, why, they're saying that, I would invite you to come talk to some of these neighborhoods, because they will tell you the challenge that they have with regard to getting the signatures, amending, and the process that it takes. That's why I think the committee came up with the recommendation of the phased-in process, because, you know, while, you know, we work in the business world and on the private side, it's quicker to get things done. But when you're talking about communities, neighborhoods, and you're talking about a lot of rental properties, it takes a great deal of time. So I really do invite you to kind of talk to some of those neighborhoods and see where they're coming from. But that's the concern.
Sir, first of all, it only takes 10% to file the application. Now, I would submit that any builder who buys land in a neighborhood that has already submitted their applications lost his mind. Now, my wife thinks most of the builders she knows have lost their mind, but that's a different issue. And once they do get their application complete, there is that year, which is totally separate from the second phase-in based on land size. That's the time frame that truly hurts the small independent builder. And you know that these people who have been trying to do their deed restrictions and have spent a lot of time working on those, converting from trying to do deed restrictions to turning in applications for minimum lot size districts is significantly easier. They should be able to do that. So the ones that are serious
I hope it'll be easier. You know, we haven't gone through the process yet, but it's my hope that it will be an easy process.
Many neighborhoods in the city have.
Thank you.
And you do raise an excellent point in that the 1 year phase in for the large lots and the second year for the smaller lots. If you get near the end of the second year and then the neighborhood puts their petitions in, that can start almost another, it could be almost 3 years before things could happen in neighborhoods. Councilmember Brown.
I just want to reiterate what was brought up by Councilmember Grady in that community participation awareness is just not quite there yet, and we're working on that. The number of people that participate at their civic level or at the super neighborhood level is significantly small. I mean, we are continuing to get out there in different ways and meet with the communities and the neighborhoods, but it's going to take a lot of work, legwork, going door to door, mail pieces or phoning or anything like that, so that the neighborhoods do what they want to do for their own self-determination. I just was in a breakfast meeting this morning at 6:30, but 20 residents had never even heard about this. There was another, not a civic meeting or anything like that, and so it's just getting the message out there. So just wanted to reiterate the fact of the matter. Thank you.
Councilmember Adams.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for coming down. Mayor, I just wanted to reiterate about the concerns for the education and outreach. So would it be your commitment as well to make sure that we have hopefully adequate personnel, adequate staff to go out to communities? And I mean, I know it's an awful thing, probably question, but this is just still some concerns that I have, and I just want to make sure that when we go out and, you know, I know that Director Gafford has made her commitment to the community meetings, but I want to make sure that we have everything on board to meet the needs of the communities, to make sure that opt-in piece, that they're educated, to let them know the importance of opting in, to protect their communities. I just want to make sure that we're all in agreement with this and moving forward. And I think with your support, I think we'll really be able to go out there, you know, by communities that this will affect. The reason why I reiterated a second ago, one of my speakers that came in, and it didn't really dawn on her that spoke, and she came out and just told me a second ago that some developers wanted to buy her house. And she said, it just dawned on me, she said, you know, we're not deed restricted. And I said, that's my point. So you have to be able to opt in. And she said, yeah, we have to be able to get the residents to opt in. So I just want to make sure that we have the necessary tools to get the communities educated on this matter. So I just want to be certain and clear and go on record my concern on moving forward with this, because I still want to make sure that our neighborhoods, especially ones that are not deed restricted, and the older communities are protected in moving forward.
We are, of course, in the budget process Currently, I have given budget targets to all the departments. I'm now going through the supplemental budget request. Houston economy is great, but we're not rolling in dough. And I have to say that everything we do, if you put money in one area, it comes from someplace else. Things like driving healthcare costs down $10 million out of healthcare costs, $20 million out of healthcare costs. It's that many more people I can put into these, into these neighborhood meetings. And so it is going to be a balance. I believe that we will put forward a budget that adequately protects neighborhoods. It's ultimately going to be up to council to decide if we have the right people in the right place. And I would ask council to be, at least listen as we, we've been pushing back on council members on things like another town hall meeting, if it drives up overtime. All of that goes together, and so we are committed to making this work once it passes. And in being committed to making it work, it means that we're going to have to do a lot of work with neighborhoods. But as been said at the table, all of council is actually it doesn't really rest on Marlene and her office. It rests with the district council members and the at-large council members to help identify the neighborhoods that are vulnerable and to help coordinate the meetings in those neighborhoods.
And I'm more than so, if you know me, I don't want to walk through the streets and knock on the doors to do that. I just want to make sure.
I bet Councilmember Green could tell me today which neighborhoods are going to.
Definitely. And so I'm sure that every district council member can do the same as Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem said earlier about District H. We're very all familiar with our communities. I just want to make sure that we just have the cover. We go out, that we have the necessary material and the support of the staff and moving forward, because I know we all want to see improvements in our neighborhoods as district council members, and we don't want to knock that. We want to encourage that, but yet and still at the same time, we still have those neighborhoods where just for whatever reason that they just need that extra push or that extra nudge to make sure that they're protected, and that is my concern. And I support Councilmember Gonzalez on his statements earlier, that we all want to see economic development in our neighborhoods, and then on the other side, we need to get the information out. And I'm sure just as every other district council member, as well as our at-large council members, whatever it takes to get to those neighborhoods, we're willing to do that and to knock on those doors to make sure that they get the information that they need. And I'm hoping with the support of GHBA as well, that we can be able to get out there and do what we need to do to protect those neighborhoods. And that's just my concern.
I would say that, just based on my own experience, respectfully, any neighborhood, when you get over 30% absentee owners, that neighborhood's probably gone. And that is just a fact of redevelopment in a dense urban area. But we will work to do whatever we can to engage those neighborhoods.